This is part 2 of the Entertainment Roundup for June 17, 2012. And like I said earlier, if part 1 was going to go to a lengthy period of time, I was going to break it up into 2 parts. That way it won't be too long for people to handle. I try not to keep certain videos no longer than probably 45 minutes required. The other one was pretty much 31 minutes, but I just wanted to cut it off there and then continue on with the other articles which I want to touch on that's involved with the entertainment world. And boy, do I got 3 interesting articles to talk about. One involving a former producer or co-writer of NYPD Blue. He's in serious trouble, and I know if my animal rights activists, well, they will be coming after him with pitchforks and knives. I'll get to that story in a bit. I'm also going to get to Bristol Palin. Yeah, unfortunately, I got to get to her. And even though technically speaking, she's more on the political side, many people have listed her as a celebrity, which I don't understand why, but and because of that, she's getting that celebrity status, which put her into this situation to begin with. I will talk about that, as well as Curt Schilling's situation, which landed him to be taking him a leave of absence from his job at ESPN due to a lawsuit he's had with the banks. I'll also get to that. So without further ado, let's wrap this stuff up, and I'll start off with the former TV writer who fatally punched a poodle in the face. Yes, this actually happened. He's been arrested and he may be serving a year in jail if convicted for assaulting a poodle. He hit the poodle so hard that it died for brain injuries. This is given to the Associated Press, and so I'm going to read a bit of it. It says, police said a former television screenwriter was arrested after punching his poodle in the face so hard it died of brain injuries. The New York Post reports Sunday that Ted Sullingsworth was arrested Saturday in his home in Queens. The Post said Sullingsworth punched his dog on May 29th because he was so angry with the animal. The dog weighed about 4 pounds. You punched a 4-pound dog. That's unbelievable. A spokesman for the American Society for Prevention of Cruelty to the Animals said the dog sustains a traumatic brain injury. The newspaper reports Sullingsworth is a former TV writer who once worked for NYPD Blue. He could face up to a year in prison. His wife tells the newspaper that the dog's death was a horrible accident. And that's pretty much all it says here on the matter. I'll leave a link below that you can read it for yourself. But come on, man, how angry can you be to beat up on a dog that barely weighs 10 pounds? Seriously, man, come on. You mean to tell me there was no better way to vent out your anger? You got to beat up on a defenseless animal? Never cease to amaze me. And not an accident about it. That's not an accident. I'm not buying that at all. It's almost like I don't even know what to say about it. It's just that it's and I know the animal's cruelty is going to have a field day with this because, and rightfully so, because there's no excuse to taking out your anger on a defenseless dog like that. None at all. There's no excuse for laying hands on anybody. If you're mad, walk it off. What can a 90-pound dog can possibly do, other than maybe destroy your property and everything else? But come on. And the dog, I'm sorry, I got to correct myself. The dog didn't weigh 9 pounds. He weighed 4 pounds. It makes it even worse. Man's fist, 4-pound dog. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so I don't know how they gotta look at this. If most likely he probably was pretty guilty. There's no way around it. And this horrible accident thing that that this wife is saying, there ain't no accident about that. You got mad, you punched a dog. That's it. There's no accident between that. I'm sorry. 4-pound dog. Come on. Anyway, that was the news that has made it to my list because, like I said, I love my dog. Love cats until I got an allergic reaction to them, unfortunately. A poodle, come on. Hey, Jesus, you're that upset? A poodle robbed you of your money or something? Come on. I'm not even trying to make it a joke, but man, oh man, oh man. I love pets. I really do. This is just a damn shame. It really is. Anyway, I will leave a link below for you guys to look at it. You know, you guys could give your own feeling towards this. But to me, there's really no excuse for venting your anger and frustration on a defenseless creature like that. There's just none. So, little bit surprised the title ain't longer, but there's really not much to be said. And I'll leave you guys to comment on it. Which means that this may be a very, very short second half, so that's actually not a bad thing. Let's see. I'm gonna leave Bristol Palin to last. I'm gonna go right straight to Curt Schilling. Oh no. Okay, Bristol, Connecticut. Curt Schilling is taking a leave of absence from his job as an analyst from ESPN after his video gaming company filed for bankruptcy. I'm gonna be very straight up before I go any further. I didn't even know he owned a gaming industry. I honestly didn't. That's how quiet that was. But from what I understand, the banks are not too happy for him, and they're actually filing lawsuits against him to retrieve some of the money that was lost in this investment. So that much I can say in terms of that. But like I said, again, I didn't even know he owned a gaming company. Kind of curious what games he was trying to make and what went wrong. Probably will look more into that. Probably talk to a friend of mine who is specialized in games, because I honestly, this is a bizarre situation. The ESPN spokesman Mike Soyle says that on Twitter that the network is and retired pitcher mutually agreed to leave as he works through his business issues. He says Schilling is expected to return on air later this season. Schilling, 38 Studios, filed for bankruptcy June 7. Federal and state attorneys launched a probe into the studios, which received $75 million in loan guarantee deals from the states of Rhode Island, and that's where this thing is falling through. 75 million in loans. Yeah, they're going to look into what the hell happened, especially if they felt that you fraud the state. But then again, maybe something else may happen. I'm not saying that he did that, but 75 million and you guys went bankrupt. They want to know where that money went. So, the three-time World Series champion with the Arizona Diamondbacks, Boston Red Sox, was hired by ESPN 2 years ago. And that's it. What's going on with these articles? I'm kidding. I figured there was a lot more than that. But apparently that was it. But I'm going to give you a gist of this situation, how bad this thing was. A couple of banks have filed lawsuit against him. That much I can tell you. And when I read the other article, which I'm going to try and find, because that article is more broader into what's going on with Curt Schilling. Curt Schilling apparently had a gaming company that was making games. What games these are, I don't know. If you guys know what games that Curt Schilling companies had made, hit me up with some of the games. So I probably will recognize some of them, probably won't, but I am curious as to what games they made. Apparently, apparently 38 Studios, that's the name of the studio. So if you guys can tell me what games they actually made for 38 Studios, by all means, I'll make a list. I like to know what these games are. But apparently, things didn't go so well. He filed for bankruptcy, which led the banks not being very happy, especially the money they are explaining here. And pretty much right now, it's to a point where I don't really blame both coming to a neutral agreement, because let's be honest, this is when you have federal investigators involved, you want to focus as much as possible of pleading your case, because the feds don't take kindly to money lost, to $75 million or any type of money that big lost, especially when it was a guaranteed deal They want to know where the hell that money went. They want to know why it failed. And especially, does the bank have justification to go after Schilling for misleading them? Because let's be honest, if you give $75 million in loan, a guaranteed loan, you're expecting the company to flourish, and unfortunately, that was not the case for Schilling. They're going to be asking for that. I don't know. Again, I don't know how much involvement Schilling had with 38 Studios, if any involvement. He may have his managers, his vice president run it. From what I understand, it wasn't a corporation. Nothing said that this was a corporation. Nothing said that there was a lot of shareholders involved. I could be wrong. It may have been a corporation involved, but from what I understand, this is pretty much more in-house than anything else, with bankers investing in him, trying to put this on the map, and nothing really succumbed to it. And so now federals are looking into the studio's situation, and whether or not this was a bad idea to give the money in the first place, or whether that someone within did not handle the money properly, which led to the bankruptcy to begin. There's a lot of stuff going on with this, so this is going to be pretty much going to be an iron out situation. And even if Schilling do return to ESPN, which they said he should be in the later season, this may be years before we finally figure out what the hell happened. So this is not going to be off his way anytime soon. The one thing I will say about it is the banks are not happy. I'm going to look for that report, because when I first heard about it, the banks were furious that that studio collapsed. And to be honest with you, I can't really blame them. $75 million guaranteed loan, and nothing came good of it. Yeah, I'm going to be pretty upset too, because that's the money they expected, big investments in return, and it didn't happen. In fact, they had massive losses. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find that video. I will leave a link to this one. It's very short. It basically went right straight down to the wire. I think there's another part to it that I didn't catch, but from what I see, that's pretty much it. So I'll leave a link. We'll talk about it more further. But believe me, this is something that is going to pretty much be in the airways for a while, at least in the sports world. So hopefully things work out for Schilling. But when you have the feds involved, he needs to be very, 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 very careful. And make sure you've got all your paperwork in order, because if they sense that you're trying to deceive them, they're not as forgiving as, let's just say, certain states are when it comes to situations like that. Just keeping it real. Yes, you. Yo, man. I wish, honestly, that Bristol Palin stays out of the spotlight. I really do. I honestly do. I honestly don't even think that they made her into a celebrity for all the wrong reasons. I'm just keeping it a solid. I never once considered her as a celebrity. She became famous because she's a single mom who Republicans looked at her as a darling because she didn't get an abortion. She's raising a child. But every time she is on the spotlight, it for reasons that's not really all entirely her fault, she just rubs me the wrong way. The last time, and I'm not even talking about Dance with the Stars. I'm really not. I don't even consider her a star to begin with, but I didn't really care about that. Didn't even care about the fact that all her Tea Party friends may have been voting her in to keep her from being voted off. Didn't care about the fact that somebody shot that television set because she still was on Dance with Stars, which was, by the way, one of those ridiculous things you could ever do. Just turn the channel if that bothers you. All that stuff is irrelevant to me. But when she started talking about stuff that she herself is contradicting, one of the things she talked about, of course, was Obama's stance on gay marriage, and how she said that everybody knows that the best way to raise a child was for the man and the woman, which was contradicting because she herself do not have a husband or a boyfriend for that matter. She's raising her child as a single mom, which pretty much contradicts everything she says. And then she wonders why people get on her for it. Granted, it's no excuse for making death threats, but she gets mad when her statements are challenged, and she tries to back it up with stuff like that really don't make any sense. But in any case, to me, I just wish I stopped hearing her every time her name comes up, because I don't know, she just rubs me the wrong way. That's more like because of the influence that Sarah Palin has, and I'm not even a big fan of Sarah Palin at all. But for her, I can manage sometimes, but not all the time. But the fact that they made her into a celebrity, it's okay, fine. You want to make her a celebrity? Here she is. She got celebrity status, at least on the entertainment roundup, at least for this one, because apparently Sarah Palin sues for defamation by a bar hacker. And it's kind of strange. Again, let me repeat this. Sarah Palin sued for defamation by bar hacker. Stephen Hawke seeking more than $75,000 in damages, including lifetime in suit. You gotta wonder where this coming from. Well, let's just look at the article here. The infamous single mom Bristol Palin and a hacker has spilled out from the bar into the courtroom. The talent manager Stephen Hawke, who got in a heated exchange with the 21-year-old conservative section after he lubed insults about her mother, ex-GOP Vice President candidate Sarah Palin, at a Saddle Ranch bar in Los Angeles last September, files for defamation lawsuit Wednesday against the country's most famous moms. The lawsuit filed in the U.S. federal court in Los Angeles because Hawkins is seeking more than $75,000 in damages, also includes Lifetime, the network that is airing Bristol Palin's upcoming reality TV series Life's a Trip, on the grounds that Hawke didn't give them permission to film him during the incident. Very interesting. Bristol Palin conduct was outrageous. The lawsuit stated, according to the wire services, Bristol Palin first accused the plaintiff of being a homosexual in a disregarding manner in front of others. The exchange was caught on camera for her show. Began with Hawkins shouting out Palin that her mother was a blank. I'm not going to say the word because I don't want to encourage that kind of language. I don't care if I don't even like Bristol Palin or Sarah Palin. That word I will not use against them. My feelings towards them doesn't give me the right to call them that kind of word, so I won't do it. After noticing, but it's a W word in case anybody wants to know. After noticing the Alaskan native being thrown from the bar of a one of those mechanical bulls. Your mother is an effing devil. Hawkins can be heard yelling at the young Palin after she confronted him and asked him to repeat the insult. It is because you're homosexual, Palin asked, and a few seconds later she pointed out a male companion with Hawkins and added, "That's a nice wife you have there." The exchange was degrading and profanity from Hawkins before Palin and her entourage left the bar. Palin told Touch Weekly in January that the confrontation was one of the reasons why she decided to ditch California to return to her hometown in Alaska. I wasn't really into the Hollywood thing. And I'm going to stop right there, okay? You wasn't into the Hollywood thing. Why the hell are you continuing to show your face? If you don't want the fame, don't show it. Stay out of reality TV. Stay out of the public life. There are a lot of people in this country, not just where you were, not just in California, but everywhere, that particularly are not fond of Palin, of your mom. Sarah Palin is not a particular person that people like too much. And there's a lot of good reasons for that. And as for the homosexuality remark, I mean, was that really necessary? Honestly, did you really felt that was a smart thing to do? The only thing it proves is just how much homophobic you are, and it didn't really say that the guy really was homosexual. You just pointed that out there and just pointed out a guy who probably had nothing to do with what the hell was going on. I'm just saying, there's a better way that could conduct it. Now I'm gonna say this: I don't blame Pistol Palin for being mad, because the guy obviously was looking for trouble, and obviously she saw her, and he just spat out some stupid words which he shouldn't have done. That's why I don't think that that lawsuit that he's doing is going to hold much weight. He may get something from Lifetime for filming him without his permission. That much I can say, but other than that, he is just as guilty of exchanging some words as Palin was. So I'm not still going to say that that guy was totally in the right. No, he was just as wrong as Sarah Palin was, and that's how I'm going to say it. But as far as I wasn't really into Hollywood things. Sounds stupid, because you're doing stuff in a Hollywood fashion. Reality show, that's entertainment. Guess what? Hollywood entertainment. You putting yourself in the spotlight. You are basically, all of a sudden have your say in politics. You're putting yourself out there. You got to be prepared for people to challenge you on that. And it's quite clear just from her demeanor, how she spoke on Twitter and how on Facebooks, and how she conducted herself pretty much on the spotlight, that she really don't know how to handle the media, nor the criticism that comes her way. She can talk she can talk a good game, but like some of other political comrades, they have a very difficult taking the feedback. They love to brush it off because they are always right and everybody else is wrong. And that's the problem I have with Pistol Palin. Not the fact that she's dancing with the stars, but the fact is that she says she don't want the limelight, but there she is on the limelight. Come on, man. If you're doing a reality show, which, by the way, the polls of people saying that they were willing to watch it is not good, but then again, there's a polls. We'll see what happens in overall ratings. When you're doing a reality show, guess what? You're asking for attention. I'm sorry to say, you're asking for attention. And to me, honestly, I don't even think you're a celebrity. I just think you're riding on your mother's fame. Your mother's pushing you out there, and to me, you're just as worse than the Kardashians, in my opinion. I'm sorry to say that, and I never thought I'd say that, but you're just as worse as the Kardashians. At least the Kardashians have companies, fashion stuff, perfume stuff. You are just riding on something that I honestly believe did not even deserve to have political fame, and that was because you choose to be a single mom rather than follow the other crowd of getting a abortion, which, by the way, nobody said you didn't have to do. And the fact that the Republican Party have given you that, I just felt that sometimes we make people famous for all the wrong reasons, and this is one of those reasons. Well, anyway, let me just move on and say what she was saying here. She told the Celebrity Glossary, after that I realized that I was over it, and I read it and I was ready to come home. Oh, whatever. Hawks claim in the lawsuit that he has suffered emotional distress over Palin's questioning of his sexuality, which I'm not buying one bit. Come on, guy. Seriously. I'm sorry, but you started the fire. As much as I hate Palin and Sarah Palin, and I'm not really a fan of her daughter, you did start that fire. Just saying. And said he was deformed by her allegations that she left California because of him. Dude, man. She then, in a magazine article, blamed Pitbull for her decision to leave Los Angeles for Alaska, even though she had purchased a home in Alaska more than 2 months before the encounter, the lawsuit stated. Neither Lifetime or Palin representatives have commented on the lawsuit, and that's pretty much it. I'll leave a link below, but dude, seriously, I don't understand people. You, again, was the person who started that. And by the way, the link does have a video so you can see it and how that whole went down. But you was the man who pretty much shouted out Sarah Palin. You call Sarah Palin's mom the W word, which, in my opinion, you shouldn't. It was disgusting and uncalled for. You started the altercation, and now you want to sue because she says something that hurt your feelings. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the Palins. I'm not. But I'm gotta be fair here. I mean, come on. I gotta be fair that you was the one who invited that in. Again, you invited that situation, and I'm not justifying her calling on you homosexuality, especially if she doesn't even know herself. To me, it was a blatant attack, and I think that she basically must have offended every last homosexual that's out there, even though technically speaking, she already did a good job of that before. So, yeah, that was something on her part. I'm not buying the whole thing about her Hollywood thing, because she's still doing a reality show. But in all fairness, you didn't need that attention if you just left it alone, if you did not shout out her name. And to me, I'm sorry, I'm not buying that you was in most of the stress. This is just a way to get a cash grab, and that's just how I see it. As for Palin, I hope you take this as a lesson learned that, hey, if you open your mouth and you prepare for this kind of stuff to happen. And I'm talking about feedback from both sides of the party, right, Democrat and Republicans. But in all, that's my only feedback against that. I think that I'm not buying that she's not looking for any kind of Hollywood attention. I'm not buying that she's looking for any attention. I think she's been yearning for attention ever since Mother hit the spotlight 3 years ago. So that's just my own opinion on that. But as far as I'm concerned, I can't put all the blame on a pistol. For reason is that the guy did shot the first bullet. I'm sorry to say it. He the one that ignited the flames, and she didn't back down, and he made some insults. To me, I don't see how the judge is going to sit there and say that he has a case. He really don't. The only case he probably has is the lifetime filming him without his consent, because I do know that there are certain states that have laws against filming people without giving their permission, or using their images in some way or form without written permission. New York has that. I'm pretty sure other states have something similar to that. So for lifetime, they may have to fork up something. But for Palin, with the insults, if it's already proven, it's on camera, and that he definitely was the first person who basically shot the insults, which sound like he did, then they're gonna basically cancel each other out. They're not gonna have Pistol pay anything, especially since he was the one who started first. If you, I'm sorry to say this, pal. If you didn't want harsh words coming to you, you shouldn't have been the one who threw harsh words out there to begin with. It works both ways. But you guys may disagree. You may disagree with all of the news that I have talked about, and you guys may have your own opinion. I'd like to hear your opinions. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. So I will leave a link to them. You can comment if you want, and and as usual, give me your feedback. But that's pretty much it for this two-parter. I will leave links to as many if I can. Surprisingly, we actually covered a lot. 28 minutes worth. So that's just about it. But until then, this is J77 saying take care and be safe.